Marshall, how are you this morning?
I'm good. How's it going, Dan?
Great. We were just talking TV shows, impactful TV shows. Favorite TV show of all time is what?
Oh man, probably one that I learned the most from as a kid. Good Times.
Really? What'd you learn?
Oh man, just family, how to stick together. When James was a part of the show, the dad. When James wasn't a part of the show, they really taught as an African American kid growing up. You got to see what it was like to have a father. You got to see what it was like to not have a father and have a strong mother. The interactions between two brothers, between brothers and sisters, when they get along and then when they don't get along. You had the artistic guy in JJ, the talented guy in Michael. We really couldn't figure out Michael, like where he was at that point in time in his life.
But you gave it thought.
Right, you gave it thought. And that was early. Now, for real, that was early with sexuality, in the show in that point in time. It was, they were kind of flirting with something, not saying it, but saying it at a real early time. And it was like, wow, but everything's normal. And obviously Janet was on there, Penny is the neighbor, and it was a really funny show. It was a show that it was lighthearted. There was a lot of jokes, but a lot of family values came out of Good Times.
But you're saying that you watch differently than most would, that you're watching to understand having a father figure and what he meant on the family dynamic?
Oh, just everything. I mean, that was not just a father figure, but a strong mother who worked, a family that was struggling, but they were a family. I don't know if you understood, but I only counted 2 bedrooms. It was like
You gave this a lot of thought, Marshall.
It was 3 kids, 2 boys. JJ slept on the couch in the living room. We never really knew where Michael slept.
Oh, that's good. That's good. Did you ever meet Jimmy Walker?
No, never did.
I saw where you did something with Arnold Palmer.
I did.
Now, how did that happen?
So EA Sports, they're all about cross-branding athletes integrating athletes into different games. And I had a character in the Tiger Woods game, now Rory game, that you could unlock. And I shot some stuff with Arnold Palmer. It was like a commercial that they ran. It was more like a webisode that they ran where Arnold watched me hit some shots and was giving me tips and kind of telling me, oh, maybe you have a future. Oh, no, stick to football. And just giving me a hard time about how much easier golf may appear than football from the physical aspect, but kind of teasing me about not being able to maybe get the ball out of a bunker, just stuff like that. So it was we spent some time together, and it was fun. It was fun.
He's Marshall Faulk, the Hall of Famer from the NFL Network, joining us, Dan Patrick Show. Poll question today is, who's in more trouble, Carolina or Arizona?
Oh man, I'm gonna go Arizona.
Why?
I'll go Arizona. I think the NFC West is a harder fight to fall to a 1-3 hole and try to dig yourself out of. The Rams could, as they show, they can win football games. They can dominate the line of scrimmage and win football games. And we know what Seattle's going to bring to the table. San Francisco's not an easy win. Even for the Cowboys, it's just not an easy win. And when I look at Carolina, some of the things it appears that they can fix, like their back end, their secondary, those guys, they're eventually going to learn how to play together. And then when you look at the NFC South, you feel like, okay, Tampa, New Orleans, Carolina, they should get some wins against those teams. I don't think the division is as strong.
Yeah, I'm just trying to figure out what's going on with Carol. Explain to me what happened with that secondary with Julio Jones yesterday.
Dan, there's no explanation for what happened. I mean, they got torched. That is just, when you run up against a freak of nature like Julio Jones, and then you just allow him to run free in your secondary, that's a nightmare. That is a nightmare. That on any given Sunday, he commands attention and he deserves respect. That you make sure that other guys have to beat you, and Carolina they were just out there playing like Julio Jones was just one of the guys.
But I don't understand that,
that
though. At what point do you say, I think Julio is good, and we might have to put two guys, or we have to sort of shade somebody to that side with him?
How about this? And I think this is what happened. I was at the game in New Orleans on Monday night, and the Saints they dedicated road coverage and compromised some coverages, paying attention to Julio, and some other guys and running backs were running free. And I think Carolina said, okay, we can't just allow that to happen. So a superstar drew some attention in the game, and the next week a team said, okay, let's not give him as much attention. And he did what he was supposed to do. Now, when you look at who's next for Atlanta, they have to decide, okay, how do we play Julio Jones? Because if you watch the game against New Orleans, the two running backs, oh my God, Devontae Freeman and Tevin Coleman had a field day with catching balls out of the backfield because they were they were rolling coverages to Julio Jones, and they would run Julio on crossing routes and put the back in the flat or catch the back in the void. He'd make a linebacker miss, and it wouldn't be nobody else for 20 yards.
I know. Crazy.
So, I mean, it's just Kyle Shanahan did a great job at coming up with some things to help, and it caused some issues for Carolina. Now, obviously, Carolina, you have to say that they're missing Josh Norman more than Josh Norman missing Carolina right now.
Do you think that there's part of Belichick that he's okay with that loss? He's not going to say it, but they lost. There's no talk of going undefeated. Now Brady is back. Now we're hitting the reset button, and we're 3-1. How do you think Belichick feels that way?
I think Belichick is they are losses that he's okay with. Let's say last year, AFC Championship, Denver Broncos, what Denver did, how they won, his team played really good in that game. Some things happened, fine. They didn't play the brand of football that he likes to play. If you beat him at his game, which is you come up with one or two things that he hadn't seen, one or two wrinkles you sprinkle in, he's fine with that. But they did not play sound, solid football. So he was pissed. I mean, you saw him on the sideline.
Throwing.
You rarely get
tablet.
that much emotion.
Yeah.
You rarely get that much emotion out of Bill, But that game was still there for them to take it, and they couldn't make enough plays. And I go back. I don't know if you caught our show. I said the Houston Texans showed up, and they were not ready for what happened to them to happen to them with the rookie quarterback. Please. I mean, it should have been a defensive battle at best.
Yeah.
Let alone you guys just get shut out. That they were so ill prepared that I actually was upset. I'm not gonna lie, I was upset that was our game.
Have fun on Thursday night. You're looking good, man. How many pounds have you dropped?
Like 4.
Oh no, you've dropped more than that. You dropped about 15.
Right around there.
Yeah, you look good.
Yeah.
You got a
Just
6-pack?
After it. I got a two pack.
2-pack Shakur. I love it. I love
Yeah, two more than I had. So I'm okay.
it. Thank you, Marshall. Good to talk to you.
All right.
That's Marshall Faulk, NFL Network.
The Dan Patrick Show, weekday mornings on Audience.